we find this issue of belonging so important because it doesn't only allow us to talk about things like race, right? But it also is very intersectional in nature. Our sense of belonging is shaped not only by our race, but it's also shaped by our gender, our sexuality, our different aspects of our identity coming together. I feel like Hong Kong it holds a very special place in my heart because it's where I grew up. I don't consider myself just a Filipino or just a Hong Konger, but like a Filipino-Hong Konger. Something I like sharing is how I just recently discovered that the Filipino flag was sewn in Hong Kong. So it was sewn in Munchies, and that meant a lot to me as someone who grew up here and who did not see much of representation in textbooks, in popular culture, in the news, in the media. Knowing that, it was mind-boggling. And I wish more people, especially more youth, were aware of this. Hong Kong is, at the end of the day, an immigrant city. Historically, a lot of people who now live here permanently were from other places. I was just having a conversation with my friend the other day, and he went to the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie, and he pointed out how there's this one line in one song she has called "Welcome to New York," and she says, everybody here was someone else before. And he pointed that out, and I thought about it, and in many ways I feel like Hong Kong is that place. I've built community here. I found some amazing people and friends, not only recently, but even way back, ever since primary school. One of the great things about living in Hong Kong is that it forces you to create community with people who don't look like you, or who don't share the necessarily same cultural experiences or values. I co-founded Belonging, which is our community arts for education lab. We call it a lab because we like experimenting with different ways to tell stories. This is the first time we're adapting one of our workshops and using it we're turning it into a collaboration. So I guess that's why I'm really excited to do this. There will be dumpling making. There will be a lot of storytelling as well. So we want to create a space again where people can come together and just freely tell their stories about their experience with body image and mental health. It's to hear these stories and to listen to what other people are speaking, especially if it's written by them, especially if these stories are told by them, as opposed to hearing stories that are written by people who are not part of a certain community. I personally am in recovery from an eating disorder. It's been 10 years since my, official diagnosis. As a teacher now, I see, a lot of my students are struggling with the same issues. So I feel like it's an important issue to continue talking about. As I mentioned, especially in this age where we're so used to seeing, the image of the perfect body, online, and to be open and be patient to not only the people around you, but be patient with yourself, and also put time into learning about your roots and your history. Our workshops are open to everyone. We don't limit it to just ethnic minorities, because at the end of the day, we want to make Hong Kong, a space worth belonging to, a city worth belonging to. And that doesn't mean only ethnic minorities, but also, the local communities.